In 1 year, the United States average of all meat that is consumed from all sources is roughly 52 billion pounds. Eating meat is unethical. The topic is important because we are harming animals and ourselves by trying to harvest their meat. People are torturing animals, injecting them with antibiotics, which is weakening humans, and the animals are producing more waste and contaminating water supplies because farmers are not properly disposing of this waste. I went to a chicken farm and cattle farm, and the animals were not treated where they were supposed to be. I have been studying the subject for almost 3 years now, keeping up on recent developments regarding this subject. Because of the farming conditions, growth hormones used, and the environmental effects that are the result, it is not ethical to eat meat. Let's begin by talking about farm conditions. The farm conditions that are producing the animals that are being killed are less than favorable. The cheapest way to make the most money on farming is to produce more meat in the shortest amount of time. The concentrated animal feeding operations, or CAFO, keeps animals in small spaces. They keep animals in small spaces, knee-deep in waste, and feed them a high-protein diet until they are weigh enough to be sent to the slaughterhouse. CAFO makes animals' weight gain a very quick process. This process is a very stressful process on the animals and can even influence their weight. Many factory farmers raise their chickens in small coops that have 12 or more chickens in them at a time, and the farmers also cut off the birds' beaks so that they cannot fight each other because of such small conditions. When chickens stay in these cages, diseases start to manifest, and this causes the chicken to become contaminated. The alternatives to the companies that could be put on this is cage-free and grass-fed. These are much more expensive, and most of these farms do not go through the standards themselves. When watching the ESPN channel, steroid tends to be a popular topic of discussion. But when it comes to the topic of steroids in cattle and other animals, it is secretly shushed and is kept out of the newsfeed. Steroids and antibiotics are killing animals and people, and it's not the medical field that I am talking about. It is in the cattle and the meats that are being produced from the outside companies. In 2012, steroids were banned from the United Kingdom because if the cattle were not slaughtered in a certain amount of time, they would die, and if they were killed in this time, they had the chance to bring disease to the consumers if the cows were consumed. But in the United States, we use testosterone like candy because it makes the cows bigger and it makes them eat more than they normally do. The companies are saving money when they use the cattle because it makes them gain weight. They're like a teenage boy. It makes them eat faster and get bigger. Another epidemic that is evolving is antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance is when bacteria is no longer being attacked by antibiotics. They become immune to the antibiotics and grow to be more powerful and deadlier. In factory farming, the corporations give the livestock antibiotics to prevent the animals from getting diseases and passing it on to humans. Climate change has been a common concept of controversy. Factory farming brings changes to the environment. A great deal of land is being harvested into pasture land, and more methane is being released into the atmosphere as a cow byproduct. Since factory farming produces more meat, more waste is produced. With about 500 million tons of manure, there is no place to be put for their manure to go, and so nearly 1/3 of the Earth's land is being cleared for farming, for global farming. Eventually, we will have no more land for our basic needs, and this will cut down on the amount of air in the atmosphere. With this being said, this will considerably cut down on the amount of air that we have in the atmosphere, and it will eventually start killing the humans because we will eventually have no more space. In conclusion, it is unethical to eat meat because we no longer have the resources, we no longer have it is killing us, it is leading to antibiotic resistance, and eventually we will have diabetes and other causes that we will no longer be able to treat because of antibiotic resistance. You have the choice. You can make a difference. Thank you.